Hello and welcome to the video. Thank you for being here. Today I want to discuss a serious topic, and this basically is based off of a prophetic dream that I got the beginning of June, the end of May, beginning of June. It was from a prophetic dream, and in this dream it started as me being outside, and I'm looking up in the sky, and I'm watching this aircraft in the sky as it goes past. And out of nowhere, there comes this big object. It's heading right towards the back of the plane, as if it's about to collide into this plane. And then all of a sudden, I see a big explosion, and I'm thinking that it collided with the plane, but the plane I found was safe. It just kept on going by, and this object began to fall out of the sky. Now, what I saw with this plane, what stood out is that it had blue and white horizontal stripes on the back of it, and that was all I was able to see with the plane. This dream then switched to where pieces of this object that fell out of the sky, there were about three small pieces, and I knew that it was a drone. And I picked up the object because it was still on, and I turned it off. And the dream switched again to another scene where I'm with two people, and I'm showing them, what I saw and what I found. And on this drone, one of the people that were with me, they saw a tag. It looked like a tag. And on this tag, he was explaining that that's a very expensive equipment, because just that tag alone, it costs $1,260. There was also another label on this as part of the drone, and it had the word Lowe's, Lowes, and it was in blue and white as well. And blue and white just seemed to be the significant color in this dream, as well as the number 1,260 being repeated, because he kept reminding me that this part of the drone costs that amount of money. And so when the dream ended and I began to get some revelation on it, I came across this number in the book of Revelations. Now, a few months ago, I made a video about the blood moon. I had a dream on that as well. And the moon was turned to blood, basically. There was like a curtain of blood that just closed over the moon. And I was saying that the times that are coming are going to be very disastrous. And this 1,260 days, there are about 3 instances where I found it in Revelations from chapter 11 to chapter 13. And I'm going to read those, just the small pieces of it. But I do encourage you to read the whole book of Revelations, and especially as it pertains to this video, chapters 11, 12, and 13, to get more understanding. Okay, so chapter 11 is titled The Two Witnesses, and I'm reading from the NLT version of the Bible. And verse 1 says, "Then I was given a measuring stick, and I was told, 'Go and measure the temple of God and the altar, and count the number of worshippers. But do not measure the outer courtyard, for it has been turned over to the nations. They will trample the holy city for 42 months. I just want to explain that 42 months also equals to 1,260 days. And I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they will be clothed in sackcloth and will prophesy during those 1,260 days. 1,260 days also equals to 3.5 years. And I wanted to make a note of that, because that is very important. And chapter 12, the title is The Woman and the Dragon. And I'm going to read verse 5 and 6. And it says, "She gave birth to a boy who was to rule all nations with an iron rod. And the child was snatched away from the dragon and was caught up to God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness where God had prepared a place to give her care for 1,260 days. And now, chapter 13, reading verse 5 to 8. It says, Then the beast was allowed to speak great blasphemies against God, and he was given authority to do what he wanted for 42 months. And he spoke terrible words of blasphemy against God, slandering his name and all who live in heaven, who are his temple. And the beast was allowed to wage war against God's holy people and to overcome them. And he was given authority to rule over every tribe and people and language and nation. And all the people who belong to this world worship the beast. They are the ones whose names were not written in the book of life, which belongs to the Lamb who was killed before the world was made. Okay, and so this is the reason why I mentioned the 3.5 years is because I believe that is beginning soon. There are talks about peace going on right now, and we know that the Bible states that when they speak about peace, it's actually the opposite that's going to occur. And I believe I got this dream also at this time, as well as the blood moon dream, to signify that we are going into the times where we will see the great mysteries of the revelation of Jesus Christ revealed. And also, what was pointed out to me was that 3.5 years from now, beginning July to the end of the year, and then 3 years after that will bring us to the year 2030. And for some reason that was brought to my attention. And I don't know what that really means, but maybe someone might find that interesting. And so, yeah, that is what I wanted to say today. This is not to bring fear or anything. This is just about awareness of the times that we are in now and the revelations that the Lord wants to bring to our attention about the times we are going in, and that we should be prepared. I don't know how He has told you to prepare physically, but spiritually being prepared is so much more important. And so if you have come across this video and you don't know Jesus Christ, I encourage you to get to know who He is for yourself, to read His Word, and to give your life to Him. He will keep you. He will protect you during these times. As we see throughout the Bible, whenever there was famine or basically any disaster going on, His people were always taken care of. And for some reason, it's coming back to me in a dream, this plane, this attack against this particular plane, it didn't affect it at all. And I was looking up this color blue and white and the significance of it. And what I found was that the flag of Israel also has blue and white horizontal stripes. Well, blue horizontal stripes on like a white background. But it looked very similar to that. And I think that meaning that God is going to protect His people, Israel, His body, no matter what's going on. And so be encouraged, pay attention. I would also encourage you to read Mathew chapter 24. There's a lot of information there about the end times and what's going to happen. But yeah, and that's it, guys. So thank you for listening. And I hope that this has at least encouraged you to study the book of Revelation at this time, and also to just hold on to your faith, because that is all we're going to have at the end of all of this. And be encouraged. All right, bye.